Hey folks, how's it going? I want to take a look at some plugins that are so good you really wouldn't mind shelling out a few quid for, but the creators give them to us for free because they're nice like that. Analog Obsession are a fantastic company that give away all their stuff for free, and you can donate to them on their Patreon, and they provide a fantastic service. I love a lot of their plugins. This is a bit of a new one to me. This is a transient shaper and a saturator and a bit of an attack and release kind of thing, which is working really nicely for me on drums here. So just want to take a listen to a before and after and then explore it a little bit. Here we go. So this is the Attractor, and I've got it here on a shells bus. So I've got it on my kick and snare and toms bus. Just take a listen to what it's doing. If I solo all the drums first off, so this is going to have the overheads in there, but the overheads aren't being affected by this. Just turn it off first and then turn it on and just hear what it's doing. Now you can choose to use this however you want really. I've gone to be relatively aggressive on it, but I've got the mix down. So let's just take a look at the controls and exactly what it's doing here. So we've got an attack portion and a release portion, and we can add some lows and some highs to the attack or to the release, or a little bit from both. We can add some compression to the attack or the release, saturation, and overall volume for the attack portion, overall volume for the release portion. We can mix it in anywhere from 0 to 100%, and we can turn down the overall plugin, essentially everything that's on that channel. Let's take a listen to the shells and just hear exactly what it's doing and blend it in, experiment with it a little bit, because you can get some amazing snap on this, and it's a kind of a problem solver as well. So let's put these all back to the default state, and then let's add a little bit, take a little away, see what we can do with it. So let's add a little bit of lows in the attack first. Really adding to that kick, and we can double click to put it back to its default state. Let's add some lows in the release portions. This is kind of like the sustain portion. Okay, so we're not having too much effect because we've not really got that much sustain in those lows, really. It's just the kick which is punching through. Let's add some top end to some of those attacky bits. Nice, you're really hearing that on the snare. So really what we've got here is like an attack on the kick, an attack on the snare, two controls for that, which is really nice. And if we go to the highs on the release portion, then we're going to be able to add some sustain to that snare drum as well. Nice. Now, where this gets really interesting, let's just scoot over the compression for a moment. Let's go to saturation. If we bring out some saturation on the release, then we can really get some sustain. And we can add some real aggression to the attack as well using this saturation. So let's compress this release portion as well and just see if we can sculpt that sustain a little bit. Get like a really sucky kind of sound that's going to be really useful for parallel compression, which we'll go into this mix in a moment. So let's bring this all the way down and just start adding it in and hear what we're doing. it gets really punchy really quickly, and it's kind of easy to overdo things, but that's sort of the beauty of some of these plugins, that you can overwork them, you can overdo it and then bring the mix control down, or you can be kind of a little bit gentler. So let's double click these and bring them all back to their default position. Let's just say we're actually going to go for something with mix up at 100%, and let's just be a little bit gentle. Let's just add a little sprinkling in there. Nice, in the mix. You can add some real power, some real punch. It's one of those plugins that, in my opinion, it's far better to kind of tweak it when you've got it in the mix, because as it's kind of easy to overdo, it's kind of easy to listen to it in solo and think, oh, that's actually too much. But then when you get it in the mix, it feels like it's maybe just enough. So I'm a big fan of this Analog Obsession line of plugins. You can check them out. I'll put a link down below. They do some really great stuff, and this is just the latest in a long line of fantastic plugins. So go check them out. The Attractor from Analog Obsession. I love it. I hope you do too. I'll see you again soon. Take care.